Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another installment of TEDXcellence, the show where we continually ask the question, why are we doing anything at all? Why not do nothing? I don't know. And I come to you live from Crater Valley on the moon with Dog Cat Fox, a Pepperjack, and all of you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to Thursday. Yes, it's been a very tumultuous Thursday. I had a very, very busy day today. I had work, and then I had some chores I had to do, and then I had to travel to another town for a company function, and then I had to come back and do some more work and some stuff, and I'm working on a project elsewise, and here I am. Rock me like a hurricane. Don't worry. I'm fine. All this plus the fact that I've been having lousy sleep the last previous nights, specifically on Tuesday night into Wednesday because of heat and because my neighbors upstairs decided to have a stompathon on their living room floor, which was like, bombs going off in my apartment. And so it woke me up and it was terrible. It was terrible. It was like at 11 o'clock. I was like, what are you doing at 11 o'clock at night? Seriously, it's a school night, for crying out loud. It's not like the weekend. If it was the weekend, I still wouldn't like it, but I understand it to a certain extent. But what's going on? What's going on? I don't know. Anyway, who's all joining me on this beautiful Thursday evening before we get into tonight's subject matter? Advocatus Diaboli, good evening. Who else is here? Alexander, hello. Walter Tomaszewski, good evening. And Angela Arriaga, hello. Morgan King, good evening. Keeverdam, good evening. And thank you, Keeverdam, as always, for providing the links to the GoFundMe's, guys, at the top of the chat box for our friends Twisted Skipster and Angela Arriaga. Twisted is looking to raise money for his daughter's wrestling club, and Angela is starting her own home-based business. Please take a look at those when you have the opportunity. If you're able to donate, please do so. But even if you can't, if you can share those out on social media, that would be appreciated. So thank you ahead of time for that. And thank you, Keeverdam, as always, for providing the links. Adam Nixon, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Mike R, hello. Mark Smart, what is with the XP thing? Well, I think maybe some of your fellow chatters there have explained it. But yes, YouTube is, and this isn't something that I turned on. YouTube just implemented a ranking system for participation in chat. Chats and super chats and I guess just overall activity gains you XP. And you can be on the leaderboard if that's important to you. You get a crown. And I appreciate the activity, it's all, but I don't have any control over it. So whatever you do, by all means, just have fun. Let's see. Blue-Eyed Scream, good evening. Who else is here? Kiro Soldier, hello. The Blakester, hello. Ryan R, hello. Ryan R of the Clan R, because between Ryan R and Mike R, I think we have some other R's in here, don't we? I think it's mostly Mike and Ryan. I think Mike and Ryan are probably just the head of Clan R, as it were. So if anybody else wants to become an R, you'll have to go through them first. JPS, good evening. Brian Morissette, hello. Found, hello. Keeverdam, thank you so much. Sounds like you need some rest. I got decent sleep last night, and I'm hoping to do okay tonight. It's much cooler tonight, so I should be a bit more comfortable, and fingers crossed, knock formica, my neighbors are quiet and not like, doing football tackle practice upstairs or something. I better get some rest because Saturday I'm going out of town to visit mom and dad, and so, well, I can sleep on the way, possibly. Anyway, thank you, Keeverdam, and appreciate the well wishes. Joel McLaughlin. Now there's a name I haven't said in a long time, I don't think. Joel. As long as, there could be more than one Joel McLaughlin out there, I suppose. I have an image of an avatar of a face from long ago. Is that you, Joel? Are you the same Joel? Just let me know my memory isn't completely off base. And anybody else before I move on? Oh, Kirsten Scholl over on the X Machine. Yes, guys, I am also simulcasting over on the X Machine. If you have an X account and you see this live stream broadcasting in there, please do share it out or retweet it or whatever they're calling it these days. I'd appreciate that. Just to let people know that I exist. TCP Las Tejas Corche. Corche? Or Corche? Las Tejas Corche? Let me know how to say that last one there. Just to make sure. Oh, it's senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Every day is a yay with Colleen Bernier. Hello, Colleen. Nice to see you. And it is the Joel. Yep. Okay, well, it is Joel McLaughlin. Nice to see you, Joel. And Bridget. Good evening. And, Keeverdam, since it's tonight's topic. Well, okay. Again, thank you, Keeverdam. Very, very generous of you. Appreciate it. Everybody thank Keeverdam for her help and let her know she has nothing to apologize for. I'm not going to make that like a regular stream thing, but I just want to at least once more reiterate it to Keeverdam that she has nothing to apologize for. On the off chance that she was feeling it for any reason whatsoever, just let her know. John Trioxin, good evening. And let me see, I can turn on that whole comments thing. There we go. Get the comments box going. Yeah. No, I know you didn't apologize yet. This is a preemptory request of the chat to stave off any sense of guilt for anything. And I mean anything. I mean, it could be a third-degree felony for all I know. Anything, it's fine. It's fine. But anyway, yeah, so tonight's topic. So this is another instance where it was the double whammy of both the title that the video had and the text that was in the thumbnail for this presentation made me very, very curious. So the text that they used is why rest is a right, not a luxury. And the text in the thumbnail I used for my title of my stream, which is the power of doing nothing. And holy cats, Derek LaRue. Thank you, Derek LaRue, so much, as always, for your continued support and generosity. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good evening. Hope you enjoy the show. Also, your internet's favorite lunatic, hello. And let him cook. Everybody, it's Satsu 2 Cents. Do you know about his new channel, Let Him Cook, where he does commentaries on current events and internet drama and all that good stuff? Well, if you don't already know about Let Him Cook, look it up, because that is Satsu. And it's like the full moon coming out or something. Like Satsu shows up in the chat, and I just have this compulsion. I don't know what it is. This is my friend Satsu, aka Chef Tyrone, founder, owner, and CEO of Oishi Fried Chicken LLC, featuring a new line of signature spice mixes. Chef Tyrone's homemade blends are the perfect gateway to delicious fried chicken or any other protein you might prefer. These recipes were painstakingly tested in Tyrone's home kitchen to bring you all the fantastic flavors you and your family can enjoy. The current flavor lineup includes original, spicy, lemon garlic herb, barbecue rub, and taco seasoning. You can buy individual packs of your favorite flavors or save some money with a variety bundle, all through the online store. And Oishi Fried Chicken ships nationwide. Go to www.oishifc.com and order today. And just as a note for YouTube's sake, if YouTube cares, this is not a sponsored stream. That's just an ad for my friend Satsu. Raven Walk says, Scribelight and Let Him Cook, all we need is Monkey and I get Lawton. Well, I have a feeling that Monkey's sleeping. But anyway, so tonight, why rest is a right, not a luxury, and the power of doing nothing. Now, when I saw these combination of titles, I thought to myself, okay, well, what could this mean? And I thought, a right to rest. And getting very cerebral, I thought to myself, well, I mean, there is a right to rest in the sense of labor laws. You know, like, as in, for every number of hours worked, you are entitled to a break. If you work a certain number of hours overtime and you're not salaried, then, you know, you're due some overtime pay. Hazard pay, you know, holiday pay, things like that. So there is a right to rest in the labor sense, in the legal sense, as far as I understand it. Elsewise, I'm not sure what our speaker means. And then there's the power of doing nothing. And what is the power of doing nothing? I don't know. I can't think of a day where I haven't done something. I haven't been completely sedate, not a total sloth. Otherwise, you know, Kevin Spacey might come along and take me out, and then Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman would have to figure out what happened to me. That's a reference. Also, Ostzan is a reference to Ostzan. There you go. So anyway, why rest is a right, not a luxury, I guess we'll find out. Now, an additional note, for some reason, and I don't understand why, I wasn't able to use the software I usually use to boost the audio on the native video. It would not accept this video file, no matter what. I recaptured it, I changed a couple of things, but it just wouldn't recognize it. It recognizes everything else, but this one is cursed or something. So as far as I know, the volume is okay from my end. It sounds loud enough, but it is possible that on your end it might be quieter than you're used to from a TEDx stream. So I'm going to turn off the background music. I'm going to hope that you guys can hear it. It's not silent or anything, but it just might be a little dimmer than usual. And if so, I apologize if you have to turn up your microphones, your speakers, the volume a little bit. But I don't have any control over it. So the volume is as it is, and it's as loud as it's going to get, unfortunately. Walter Tomaszewski. Thank you so much, Walter. I moved into my apartment in 2019. The woman upstairs would walk her elephant from midnight to 2 a.m. She left after 6 months. A troop of monkeys came in. At one time, and this is years ago now, a literal rock band moved into the apartment above me. And you can fill in the blank with my experience in the 3 or 4 months thereafter. Because, yeah, thankfully they weren't here long, but man, they'll never be forgotten. So, yeah, so I empathize with that. The people I miss, long ago, well, actually not too long ago, was the people just before the upstairs people now. There was an elderly couple that lived upstairs, an old grandma and grandpa, and they were as silent as you could imagine, except for the occasional weekend when their grandchildren would come over and they'd be running around like there was a racetrack up there. But that was usually during the daytime and afternoon, so it wasn't that bad. But otherwise, you would never even know they were up there. I miss them so much. I think they had to move off to retirement homes or something else happened. But either way, so yeah, I feel your pain. And also Satsu lets me know, Scribe, you aren't young enough for Kevin Spacey. Thank goodness for that. Small favors. Anyway, guys, tonight's bingo card is Bingo Card C. Links to the bingo cards are in the description below. Get your bingo card C's ready. I'll start off with a few seconds for a sound test. Not that I can do much about it, but you guys let me know if it's terrible. Because if it's terrible, then I might have to, jerry-rig a completely different show here. So here we go.
Please welcome Jotina Buck.
Jotina Buck. All right, now I think the announcer in the audience is probably a little louder than the speaker will be, but did you hear that okay? Was that okay as far as volume goes? Okie Native, thank you so much. What you're saying is they had lots of ogres? Yes, they had a lot of ogres. That's what they had. Yes, the rock band up there had a lot of ogres. That's what it was. They didn't set up their instruments in their living room and practice on weeknights. No, it was ogres. Might as well have been. Morgan King says 5x5. Ew, that screech applause. Yeah, I know. And volume is fine, says Austin. Okay, guys, so here we go. This one runs just under 12 minutes. Here we go. Okay, I have to pause occasionally anyway. Not like over on Twitch when I did that Twitch stream.
I'm sitting in my car.
No, you're not. You're standing on a stage.
In my garage.
Well, you might be in a garage. Huh?
And for a solid 30 minutes, I don't move.
Sitting in your car, in your garage, and you don't move. There are some very, very dark places and scenarios my mind just went with that setup. I really hope that's not the case.
You know that moment when you pull into the garage after a long day of work and instead of getting out, you just sit there?
Actually, I don't, because I don't drive. But I can imagine quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's me.
Okay.
This car has basically become my office. The last little pocket of alone time before stepping into everything else that demands my attention.
What else? Okay, so I'm trying to get the benefit out here. So let's say she's got a ridiculously busy home life. She's got 2 or 3 kids and a husband and 2 dogs and a whole bunch of other obligations and responsibilities, that kind of thing?
The bills.
Everybody's got bills.
Emails.
I mean, technically everybody's got emails these days, huh?
People.
Yeah, they're kind of unavoidable. Although I think they're more avoidable these days than in previous times because of the internet and live streaming and just sitting alone in a room and talking into a microphone. I mean... Wowie, wow, wow. Oh, thank you, Dog, Cat, Fox. I know. I'll always have you.
Life,
Yeah, life. That thing that just happens of its own accord unless something makes it stop.
those things.
Yeah, okay.
And in this moment, I am beyond exhausted.
Okay, so you came home from a busy day at work, you're beyond exhausted, and you just don't want to deal with the world anymore. So what do you do?
And this is not just I need a nap kind of tired.
Uh-huh.
This is something deeper.
Is it because of all of the emotional labor?
A bone deep.
Oh.
Soul level tire.
Oh.
One that sleep alone can't fix.
So let's introduce... I was gonna name one of several different chemical supplements to make rest just manifest very quickly. But what's her solution?
You see, I'd spent years doing everything I was told to do that would lead to success.
Uh-huh.
The showing up.
Yeah.
Grinding.
Yeah.
Proving my worth.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Achieving success doesn't mean you stop. That is the level at which you have to work to not only get it, but maintain it. It's not like you cross a finish line and you never have to do anything again. Okay.
Through my work. And yet, in that moment, I felt completely depleted and unfulfilled.
Sounds like a you problem. Okay, going over to the bingo card, because I think we have at least one circle to make already. Remember, this is bingo card C, everybody. And let's see. We got diversity, equity, and inclusion. Not yet. Word salad. We'll see. I mean, she's just kind of setting things up. Mind reading or assumes motives. Not yet. A list. No, but I wouldn't be surprised. Marginalized or marginalization. Patriarchy. No. Contradicts own point or fails to make argument. Don't know what it is yet. Feminism. Attempt to coin new buzzword or buzz phrase. Systemic or institutional. It's possible. Anecdote that probably never happened. Nothing she said so far sounds outside the realm of possibility. White supremacy. Free space. Childhood or family anecdote. Well, she's talked about coming home. She hasn't talked about family yet, specifically. She said people, bills, and such, so we'll wait and see. Leaves out vital context. We'll see. Weightless example or non sequitur. Sales pitch for product or service. Possibly. I didn't read the description for this, so for all I know, she's a life coach or something, but I guess we'll find out. Privilege. Possibly. Collectivize his own demographic. Not yet. Self-vilification or wretchedness. I would be surprised. Economic disparity. Just mentioning bills doesn't really do it yet. We'll see. Benevolent condescension. Plays victim. I think we can safely circle plays victim. I am willing, as demonstrated in a stream not so long ago, to rescind a circle after the fact if I'm proven wrong, but... so circle that one. Deceptive statistics, not yet. And lastly, microaggressions or unconscious bias. And just as a note, not that the speaker possesses unconscious bias or microaggressions, but that those are elements used within the presentation itself as making a point or something. So anyway, on the card so far, we have free space and plays victim. Moving on.
As if I'd been pouring from a cup that had been empty for way too long.
Boy, drama much?
And by the end of the year, I hit a wall. And I was tired, not just from work, but from the entire system.
Oh, system! That sounds like systemic institutional. Circling systemic institutional. You're just tired. You're just tired. Okay, so what did you do? Did you just stop? Did you take a long vacation somewhere? I mean, taking a vacation somewhere would require doing something and paying for something.
The constant push for productivity.
Uh-huh.
The expectation to always be on.
Uh-huh.
Tired.
Okay, I really want to know what it is that she does, or I don't know if she's talking in the past tense, did for a living, because, yeah, I mean, I have a job. I am expected, if I wish to get paid and maintain my insurance and all that good stuff, I am expected to show up every day and be productive every day and get all of the things I'm responsible for done every day. And if I'm given an extra assignment or project, which I often am, I am as well expected to work on that project and or assignment until its completion, on and on. And it's called being an adult. I know, it sucks. Trust me, I've been one for a while now, at least chronologically speaking.
Because I used to believe that rest was something I had to earn.
Well, I mean, yes.
Yeah. And let me tell you, that belief, it nearly broke me.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, you don't have to earn rest. You could do nothing at no cost. No one is going to charge you for doing nothing if you just want to do nothing, except for, maybe the people expecting rent or, your bills or anything else once the money runs out from you not earning anything. I mean, there is a cost to doing nothing, but you could just, drop everything and just become a debtor out in the street or something. I don't know. You could just walk the earth like Caine in Kung Fu. You could do that.
And I know I'm not alone.
You are not alone
in this feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And here's how I know.
Okay.
We live in a world that normalizes exhaustion.
Normalize exhaustion. I don't know if we live in a world, but okay.
We wear our tiredness like a badge of honor.
Speak for yourself. I had a terrible night the other night. I was not feeling proud of myself for being exhausted yesterday. I just felt tired and yucky. I just wanted to get some sleep.
Capitalism.
Oh.
White supremacy.
Oh, white supremacy on the board. Holy cats. Didn't even have to extrapolate it from something else. Just white supremacy. Capitalism. Oh boy, guys. Capitalism, it's bad. It's bad. You know what really brings all the rest in the world? You know what brings all the breaks? Communism. Socialism. Man, there's just so much free time when you're working on the collective farm.
Grind culture.
Grind culture? Is that what happens at a Starbucks? You get it? Grind culture. Or something that you do at a club when you're with a particular box office and entertainment reviewer. You just grind culture. If you get that one, you're a Midnight's Edge fan.
All of them have convinced us that our worth is measured by our productivity.
Oh. Our worth is measured by our productivity. Well, I mean, I will say that if I meet someone who is an absolute and total, and I have known people like this, and on the poll today to select the bingo card, I put up 3 famous layabouts to select the bingo card. The first one was Rip Van Winkle. The second one was the humans from Wall-E, and the last one was the dude from Big Lebowski. And I've known people in life who are kind of like the dude, like ridiculously charismatic, but an absolute and utter lazy slob. Right? So on the one hand, I can like this person. On the other hand, if they're a mooch, I don't have a whole lot of respect for that person, right? Especially if there's no conceivable reason why they couldn't be taking care of themselves, that kind of thing. So I guess there's that, but it's all about attitude. But I don't like, here's the thing. I had, I think I've told this story several times before, and if you've heard it before, I apologize. And I don't think it was that long ago that I told it before. Long ago, I had the opportunity to go to a Thanksgiving dinner with my friend and his family, extended family that I'd never met before. And after we'd had a nice meal, home-cooked meal, the whole 9 yards, we're sitting around just kind of digesting, getting ready for a little dessert, and I start speaking with his family. And one of his elders, it was his like great uncle or something, asked me what I did for a living. And I explained to him what I did. At the time, I worked for a timeshare company, and I did these kind of things and contract processing and all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, my friend's sister, I think it was younger sister, maybe it was either younger or older by like just a year or two or something. She pipes up and she says, "Well, I make more than you." Like, I hadn't even talked about how much I made. I just, kind of described my job. And she was like, "I make more than you." And I was like, I suppose you do. And then she said, "Well, I'm more successful than you are." And I was like, I mean, if you measure success by the amount of your paycheck, I guess. But, And then I listed off. I said, I went to college to get an English degree, and then I had absolutely no idea what to do with myself. And then I ended up at a retail store for about 6 months and outsold the manager during that time. And then I moved on to this complete other business that deals with finance and stuff at a company that I have absolutely no experience with, but I excelled at, and I got moved from one department to another department because of my skills. Despite the fact that I hate math, I was able to figure out, prorated debt balances and all other kind of stuff. And so I just listed off all this stuff, and I said, I probably don't make as much as you do, but I've had many successes outside of what I would have expected of myself. So I think in general terms, I've been fairly successful. And every elder person in the room, people who actually probably had to work through some tough times of their own, I have to say, looked awfully pleased with my response to somewhat self-centered sister over here. So it's one of those things where I never really thought about it till someone sort of like challenged me on it. And ever since then, whenever I think about what someone does or how much they make or pull in doing whatever else, I just remember that interaction, that conversation. I just think, everybody's a person. There are rich people who are great and poor people who are bad, and vice versa. And really, your financial worth doesn't tell me anything about you. It's kind of like the same thing I talk about with all my DEI videos and things. If someone says, "Oh, well, we just hired our first female Latino amputee or something," and I'm like, none of those things tell me anything about the person, right? All those things are completely non-determinative of who that person is, just like the size of your bank account. So anyway, sorry for the tangent, but that just reminded me of that.
And for some of us, particularly Black, brown, and marginalized communities.
Marginalized, oh boy, marginalization, circling that one on the board. Oh boy. And what do I see? Who do I see? Well, by what I saw a name, but who do I see in the chat that I haven't said the name of in a long time? Jeanette E. Hellis. Hi, Jeanette. How's it going? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. And Adabisi. Oh my gosh, Adabisi. What card are we using? Bingo card C. Bingo card C. And just as a reminder, well, let me get this real quick and then I'll go over the bingo card. Thank you, Kiro Soldier, very much. I'm in the same boat as you. I love talking to people at Home Depot and generating HVAC leads. Now I'm in the paint department and have driven up sales. Yeah, see, it just takes... maybe it's a rarity these days that makes people like Kiro Soldier stand out or something, but just a little bit of stick-to-itiveness, a little bit of dedication and creativity, a little people skills, and you can it's not nearly as hard as some people think it is, but it's just a matter of knowing what you're talking about and or willing to dive into an area of things that you're not used to while asking questions, right? Like I've probably forgotten how to do it now, but when I got into that contract processing and thing job, I couldn't prorate a debt payment to save my life, but a couple weeks of practice and I could do them in my head. I have lost that ability now because I haven't had to stretch that part of my brain, but I'll tell you what, if I ended up in the same situation again, I could do it because I already know I can do it because I did it. And just like with my current job, I had no technical experience of any meaningful kind of like database management or flow charts or all the stuff that I do now. And it's just a matter of putting your mind to it and learning something new. And I mark those as successes beyond anything that I could count in my checkbook. I mean, don't get me wrong. There is no end of pride. And I know that's a sin, but all the way of being able to take care of myself. That's one thing I've always wanted to make sure is that I wasn't having to rely on other people. I have a very independent mindset in that regard. So as much as I can be, financially independent, that's where I want to be. But outside of that, I don't really have a whole lot that I, complain about as far as I'm this because of this, or this person is lesser or above me because of that. I honestly, most time I see people with expensive cars, and my first thought is, what a waste of money. I just think you could have done so much more. You probably should have put most of that money into like a Roth IRA or something. Get a cheap used car for like $6,000 and put everything else you threw into that car and save it for a rainy day. You're probably going to need it. Anyway, I could go on. Yeah. And let's see. Oh, what's this? I have Nautic. I did nothing all day and it was everything I ever thought it could be. George Costanza. It's true. It's true. And also the Dead Man. Dead Man, I owe you an apology. I didn't see your tweet before I closed up the last stream. And so I need to make up for that. And unfortunately, I don't have context for it. So I'm going to read it. You can give me context if you can remember. So Dead Man said on the DEI stream, I don't know what it is, it also inspired a good South Park episode. Dear guys, words cannot express how much I hate you guys. Or dear God, or something. I don't know. So Dead Man, I need some context, but I wanted to make sure that your super chat got read because I apologize that I missed it. Didn't mean to do that. So thank you for being here and reminding me that was there. Okay, and also Eagle is here. All right, all the things aside. Okay, she said white supremacy. And as we know, only black and brown people and marginalized people have overwhelming jobs or experience burnout. So, yeah.
Rest isn't just difficult.
Okay.
It's also denied.
Hmm.
And so while the world is saying loudly, do something, do more, I am here to gently nudge you. To do nothing.
Oh, this kind of this would be a great companion piece to my fake TEDx about malicious tranquility. I honestly, the more that I'm hearing this, I'm thinking, this is almost like the mirror image of my malicious tranquility spiel. Dead Man, the Civil War documentary from Ken Burns. Aha. Okay, now everything makes sense. The Civil War documentary by Ken Burns also inspired a good South Park episode. Dear God, words cannot express how much I hate you guys. Okay. I don't know the episode of South Park you reference because I'm not nearly as much of an aficionado as some people like Sinatra and Monkey, but I take your word for it. But Andy Masterson. Oh my gosh, guys, you know about Andy Masterson? Andy, the Toy Master Masterson. He has a channel on YouTube where he makes custom toys as well as hang out with the Doomcock crew, amongst others, talking about comic books and genre entertainment. So if you don't know about Andy Masterson, go look up Andy Masterson on the YouTube machine. And if you're not already, subscribe to his channel because I said so. That's all you need to know. That's it. So there you go. Good evening, Andy. So let me back up a little bit. I keep blabbing, so we need to get back some context here. Okay.
Do something. Do more. I am here to gently nudge you to do nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do we respond to this problem of lack of rest?
This problem of lack of rest. Okay, well, everybody's different. Everybody's schedule and obligations are different, but if you find yourself burning out, you need to take an assessment of everything that you've got yourself involved in and decide on priorities. And if there's something, anything you can cut out of your schedule that you might have to give up on for the sake of your own mental health and energy and sanity, and everybody has those, regardless of your skin color, then do that. Yeah, it might be uncomfortable, it might be difficult, maybe there's something you love doing or something that you feel obligated to participate in, but you got to set your priorities straight. That's what is budgeting your time. Learn to budget your time.
First, we must remind ourselves.
First, sounds like a list. I'll wait and see if she gives us a second.
That rest is not a luxury. Rest isn't something we hustle for. Instead, it's a basic human right.
I don't know. I have to earn my vacation hours and my sick time. I know that might sound a little archaic, but it's kind of true, at least from the job. I mean, I could just quit my job and not have to worry about earning vacation hours. That would work out great.
So what if, instead of struggling for rest alone, we decided to come together in unison and do something about this rest problem?
Oh my gosh. Almost like a collective effort. Oh yeah, I'm also going to circle, I forgot, collectivize's own demographic over in the on the card. And I'm waiting for her to give us at least one more item to make it a list. We'll see. Okay, so what can we do to solve this problem? What if we all came together in unison to deal with the rest problem? What if Dr. Doom was the Sorcerer Supreme?
You've heard of mutual aid, right?
The concept, or is there an organization?
That's when communities come together. We no longer wait for systems to save us, and we do the work to save ourselves.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm setting aside my disbelief, and for the sake of argument, all right. How would we collectively, in unison, create rest for all?
Imagine if we engaged in rest mutual aid.
Rest mutual aid. Is that like paying for people to take a day off? And Advocatus Diaboli, the #1 participant on the leaderboard right now, guys, if you really want to get the crown. Contradiction, her talk about laziness seems to require I do a whole lot, Let's see what she says. Let's see what the collective has to do to make rest for a member of the collective. Let's see how much manual or emotional labor is required. And then I will circle that square.
What could that look like?
I don't know.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Rest gifting.
Rest gifting.
That's offering someone the gift of rest in mutual exchange.
Like barter for time? Like I do something in the realm of labor for you and you give me labor in return? Huh.
Like paying for someone's time off.
Oh! Give me money. I want free money. Paying for someone's time off. Okay, and this money that I am giving to someone else that they can then use it to do nothing, where did my money come from? What does my money effectively represent? I would assume, and I know there are various ways to acquire it, but for the sake of argument, I would assume that that money represents someone's labor. So I am spending time and effort to earn the money that I'm just going to give you so you don't have to work. Now, can I expect you to give me an equitable amount of money back at some point so that I don't have to work? Are we going to play table tennis with the same block of cash back and forth so that we can each take time off on the other's dime forever? Or is this supposed to be a collective effort like, oh, I just donate $5 here, and then Mary donates $5, and then George donates $10, and all together it equals a lot of money, and then you can take a day off. My terrible Jimmy Stewart impression. You know, that kind of thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Or maybe offering them a service.
Oh.
Home cleaning service.
Just for the hell of it.
A yard service.
Just for the hell of it.
Dinner for the week.
Dinner for the week? Good gravy. And do tell, what does the recipient of all of these amazingly free donated labors and services and cash, what do they have to contribute in return?
A practice of collective care.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps it could look like rest swaps.
Rest swaps. Okay, well, I'm circling attempt to coin new buzzword or buzz phrase, because that sure sounds like the intro to one, so circling that. Just to remind what we have circled on the card so far. Remember, this is bingo card C. We have marginalized or marginalization, attempt to coin new buzzword or buzz phrase, systemic or institutional, white supremacy, free space, collectivizes own demographic, and plays victim. I'm circling economic disparity because that's those that have give and those that don't have to kind of thing. And then contradicts own point or fails to make argument. Advocatus was correct. Getting rest sure requires a lot of effort from a lot of people, just so you can have a day off.
A mutual exchange.
Mutual exchange. So what are you doing?
In restoration for one another. In community, you know, you watch my kids, I'll watch yours.
What about that whole paying for your vacation? What about just making you meals as your private chef for a week?
You cover my shift, I'll cover yours.
If we work at the same company.
This exchange and swap and rest care. Or even if we took our resources, put them in a pot.
Took our resources, put them in a pot? You mean like I don't know, we were all putting into a mutually beneficial pool of money or something that could be used to benefit everybody? Oh, you mean like taxes?
For emergency rest funds.
Oh, emergency rest funds.
Funds that are designated for those who are in need of immediate rest.
What if I can't afford to put in as much as someone else? Do I still get the full benefit of the collective if I've only put in, you know, and can only afford to put in like 2% of what someone else can put in? Do I get a lesser amount of rest for my donation? Is that going to be tracked somewhere?
Especially during times of grief, times of life crisis, and deep exhaustion.
Deep exhaustion. Oh, guys, I'm really tired today. Can I just take a few dollars from the mutual fund and take the day off?
Or probably even the two types of rest mutual aids I've engaged in the most,
Oh,
rest pods, and rest circles.
okay. Well, that's a list. Okay, so circling a list. Rest pods and rest circles. Well, if I needed any more buzzwords or buzz phrases, I've got them. But okay, what's a rest pod and a rest circle? Please do tell us what's the difference between a rest pod and a rest circle.
Rest pods are those intimate gatherings with your friends
Orgies?
where you hold each other accountable
Struggle sessions?
for slowing down. Yeah.
Slowing down? Wait a second. You mean I'm going to be judged for running out of gas in a pod that's all about rest? Wait, what?
I absolutely love having D&D days with my friends.
D&D. It's dynamite. You mean like rolling dice D&D?
That's a do nothing day.
Oh. You see, I was getting ready to roll up a paladin or something for the sake of argument. But okay, never mind. There goes. My dreams are shattered.
We put on our favorite socks, we climb on the couch, we grab a blanket, we get all of our snacks, and we do nothing.
But going over to, let's just for the sake of argument, going over to your house and having to bring my socks and my blanket and snack, that all sounds like doing something. It doesn't sound like doing nothing. Well, it sounds like a, therapy session or something that I have to go into and hold ourselves accountable. What?
I love it. It's the best.
Let me guess. You don't pay for your own snacks.
Or even rest circles.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's those larger community gatherings where you get together for restorative practices.
Restorative practices? Oh my gosh! It's been a while since I've talked about restorative justice. Restorative practices. Boy, oh boy. So a pod is where you hold each other accountable, and a circle's where you have restorative practice. Of course it's a circle. Of course it's a circle. Restorative justice loves circles. Oh, we've talked about this before. Why did I not see it ahead of time? Thank you, Adabisi. Being married to her, there goes your Saturday. Man, your Saturday, your Sunday, your hours after work, whoo, man, I don't even know. Thank you, Adabisi. Of course, a struggle circle. Of course, it'd be restorative practices. Tell me about what you do with your restorative practices during these circles.
Like yoga.
Oh.
Breath work.
Oh.
Meditation.
Oh, that kind of okay, you got me really excited there for a second. I thought it was going to be everybody going around the circle talking about all the harms they had caused to the relationship dynamics between every person, and then the entire circle judging on what restitution each person has to make to the community to encourage healing. I'm honestly amazed all of that came out of my mouth without me stuttering or stumbling, because I've listened to so much restorative justice nonsense over the last 9 years. I think I just have it burned into my brain.
And in stillness and in ease, you gather in this communal act of care and rest.
It's not, if I have to go and be social with people, I'm sorry. I'm not a complete antisocial individual, but I do get kind of socially claustrophobic after a while if I'm amongst mostly people I don't know or a lot of people and noise and stuff. It's still, residuals from my anxiety disorder. That's not restful. That's stressful. This does not sound attractive to me. Can I just stay home and do my own thing? Oh wait, I can't do my own. I mean, just stay home. I'll just be an inert log on my couch. But do I have to be around all of you?
Because here's the truth.
Oh.
Rest isn't something we just do alone in a dark room on our own.
Well, for me it is. Presently.
Rest is communal.
No, well, are you just talking about recreation? I mean, I guess it depends on how you define rest, but no, it doesn't have to be. In fact, weren't you the one at the top of this that was talking about the stressors of just people and the world and life? Your best times were just sitting in your car alone in between the workday and having to go into the house and start that part of your life all over again. Rest is not necessarily communal by your own description. So
let's go back to that moment when I hit a wall.
Sorry, I completely forgot. We've gone so far afield of you hitting a wall. Sorry.
So let's go back to that moment when I hit a wall. What did I do and how did I respond?
I am dying to know.
I did something that was both terrifying and necessary.
Going to see a modern Marvel film?
I sold my house.
As you do.
I packed my bags and I quit, y'all. I quit America. I left.
I don't know. I haven't heard yet. She hasn't mentioned. I'm assuming she's single. And if so, this is my surprised face.
I moved to Mexico.
Great choice, I suppose.
But I didn't go there to escape.
You just, well, first off, there's no X in the word escape. But anyway, you did. You just told us you sold your house, you packed your bags, you quit your job, you left America, you quit America. But okay. Faustonia, thank you so much. Appreciate it. My God, Scribe, you picked a doozy. This tiresome bint is a walking, talking, left-wing buzzword fact. Yeah, I didn't have any notion ahead of this what this was going to be. I was just thinking before the stream about just how many of these things I've watched now. And you along with me, many of you. And I just thought, how many of those could I have burned a hole in my memory that I still can recall them with some clarity still today after all these things. And there's probably several, but there's a handful that just will never leave me, like Chromosome Lady, like the lady who was arguing for the Equal Rights Amendment while talking about men stealing women's work and never giving one example of a man stealing a woman's work. There's oh my God. I mean, there's so many of the ones that I did scripted before, like the guy who said that racism caused blood clots, or the guy who, speaking of blood, made plastic out of blood, and NF trees. And I mean, I probably can list off a million that stood out to me, but yet there's so many that I know don't, that I can sort of see a picture in my head, but I can't remember what they were talking about. This might be one of those that stands out. I just have a feeling this might be one of those that kind of continues onward with just how utterly ridiculous it all sounds. But time will tell. Time will tell if we're still talking about the do-nothing lady a year from now, or we can recall it. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Her friends call her Slow Poke Rodriguez. Oh, that's a good one. Uh-oh. StreamYard froze up on me for a second. Did anything happen to the stream? Uh-oh. All right, you guys need to tell me in quick succession whether or not something just went glitchy on the stream. Did I robot something else? Everything okay? Nothing on your ends is key or damn. Okay, yeah, everything in my control panel just went goofy for a second. I thought, uh-oh. Anyway, what I meant to do before that happened, that was for Frosted Glass. Also, Midnight's Edge After Dark. I couldn't send over my audience, by the way, Scribelite. I don't know why not. Oh, well, that's okay. I appreciate the thought. Everybody, that's Tom Connors from Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After Dark. If you're not already subscribed to Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After Dark, you should do that because I'm on Midnight's Edge in the morning, most Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And as well, Midnight's Edge After Dark, you've also got Midnight's Edge After Dark on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and also, I think, on Saturdays. Talking about movies and comic books and Hollywood genre entertainment and all the scandals and stuff. I'm sure tomorrow will be rife, if you want to call it that, rife with Ironheart Boy, howdy. We love Ironheart. You need to turn it on, Scribelight, so I can. I need to turn it on. I didn't know I had something to turn on. In fact, you just reminded me, anybody who sticks around after this stream is over with, you'll be sent over to Price of Reason's channel because he's got a live stream going on in the near future, if not already. It might already be going on, talking about politics and stuff. So, but I didn't know I had to, like Polly refers to me already. I didn't have to turn anything on. Give me a tip or two in the Twitter chat, Tom, if I'm missing something, because I didn't turn anything off that I know of. Also, Malachi D. Wildman, good evening. Tom's World of Work, just rest per tonight's speaker. I know. Speaking of which, let's get back to our speaker.
I went to Mexico to reclaim something.
An Aztec temple?
I went there to unlearn that my worth is connected to my productivity.
Again, that sounds like a you problem. But all right, I'll go along. You gave up your life in America and defected to Mexico in order to unlearn that your worth is defined by your productivity. So what do you... I'm hesitant to ask what you do in Mexico. It's probably more interesting to ask what don't you do to survive in Mexico.
And there, next to the ocean waves.
Got to be an expensive piece of real estate.
Under the open skies, I reclaimed something.
You just what'd you reclaim?
I sank into rest in a way that I'd never done before.
Did you take a siesta?
But this isn't just about my personal rest practice.
Yes, it is. I mean, I hope you go into further detail, but the entirety of the purpose of this talk and my paying attention to you is that purportedly you have some theory, you have some method, you have some solution to the problem of not getting enough rest. That's what I'm waiting for. So selling off your home, packing your bags, quitting America, moving to Mexico on the shoreline, you discovered something. You're going to reveal something of that to us now, right? Or do I have to pay $99 a month for your classes to learn that secret?
This is about building a culture of rest.
How? Okay. You have to tell us what your method is so we can understand on what foundation you build this culture of rest by your theory.
So in Houston, right before I relocated, I started to host these rest retreats.
Were they rest pods or rest circles?
I would tell people to pull up, to lay down, right?
So everybody has to go out of their way to go to a rest retreat. It sounds like a camp out. Sounds like work.
Right? Come to do nothing. But it was an intentional space.
An intentional space. To gather potential clients? I mean...
Curated for folks to return home to ourselves.
What?
In softness, in stillness, and in ease, in community.
Is this a sweat lodge kind of thing?
And in Mexico, that work expanded.
I'm getting some vibes here.
Where I'm hosting rooftop yoga and meditation, and Black and brown bodies are gathering under the open skies, next to the ocean's waves, pausing to reclaim what the world too often tries to steal from us.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Frosted Glass. Congratulations, lady, you invented vacation. I know, I'm right. It's like she's a travel agent. She's a travel agent with a meditation package to sell you. Jeez. Tell me again about the evils of capitalism. I'm sure you don't draw any particular salary or payment from going to all of the work to arrange for these restful retreats, right? Good gravy. Angela Arriaga, she's a life coach and she's really a brain trust. I know. It's amazing. Also, apparently only particular skin colors are worthy, of rest. Are worthy. Tom Connors, wait a minute. I thought they were all slaves. She's saying they all used to be lazy fucks in the sun. Jeez. Oh, gosh. The words of Tom Connors do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Scribe Light channel. I know.
Yeah. I believe that we can live through resting. I have a story to tell you.
I love stories.
I'd like to tell you about Lisa.
Well, I'm not stopping you.
Lisa was one of the inaugural rest retreat attendees.
Oh, so she was one of your first disciples.
Lisa walked into the rest retreat, and you all, I could see it on her face. She was like I was in that garage, unrested, exhausted, and tired.
Probably from having to be on a flight for 7 hours to show up at your little shindig. Oh, wait.
Pouring from a cup that had been empty for way too long. And there in the community, something shifted for Lisa.
Yes, strange, ideologically driven, anti-capitalist, anti-American collective gatherings, I'm sure over time would change a person.
And by the end, Lisa didn't just leave with tools for her personal rest practice.
Did she leave with a set of tapes to listen to in order to change her mind on things? Was she audited with an e-meter by any chance?
Lisa also left with a solid rest pod.
Is there a laxative for that?
And it brings me so much joy to log into social media to see Lisa gathering and doing nothing with the people in her rest pod.
Gathering and doing nothing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And Lisa's so deeply woven into the rest community.
It's like she's started her own cell somewhere.
That she's even made her way to Mexico for rest circles there.
Oh, almost like a pilgrimage.
It's been such a treat.
I'm sure.
Witnessing Lisa live into alignment with the very thing that she's reclaimed at those rest retreats.
For love, not Lisa.
But rest isn't just an event.
No.
It's a way of being.
Yes, yes. Resting. 24/7, just resting as I perpetuate the collective circles of rest and reclamation, with my own little splinter cell off to the side somewhere.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I want to offer you a rest gift today.
Oh, I love gifts. Is this part of that whole collective mutual aid thing that we were talking about earlier?
So if you would.
Yeah.
Bring yourself to an upright position.
Oh, okay. Everyone, those of you within the sound of my voice, let us allow our speaker to lead us in a restful exercise. I am now sitting in a full and upright position. I have my diaphragm, even with my rigid frame, and I can now speak more forcefully and gravitas, yes. I'm feeling the power of rest flowing through my veins. Join me.
Relax the space between your shoulders and your ears.
Wait. Oh, you mean not like you mean not turning my brain off. Oh, okay, sorry. I apologize. Okay, not that relaxed. I'm trying to do, I'm jumping the gun on how much resting I'm doing. Okay.
And soften your breath and soften your gaze.
Do I need to have a meat tenderizer to soften my gaze? No? Maybe? No? Yeah, well. Look out for the male gaze, feminists.
And together, let's take a deep inhale.
A deep inhale? Oh my God, everybody, we gotta go deep in hell. Oh no. Wowie, wow, wow. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Doug Cat Fox. We have to go deep in hell. Oh no. It's like I have to be Ironheart or something. Oh.
Feel for where you're unrested in your body.
Oh.
And on the exhale, send your breath there.
Oh, inhale. Oh. No, Dog Cat Fox, no. You can put away the pitchfork. The horns are cute. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. I misunderstood. That was my bad. Okay, so I have to inhale. All right. I'm inhaling.
One more for good measure. Deep. Inhale. Fill the body up with air. Yeah. And exhale, sending that breath to your unrested self. And as you bring your awareness back to this space, I want to ask you a question.
I love answering questions.
Who in your life needs rest right now?
Okay. Given the time and given the time zone, tailed feature. Because if tailed feature is still awake right now, he needs rest. But even if he wasn't awake, I know he works very hard in difficult circumstances. So I think, there are probably several people. Well, let's see, tailed feature and irate Alex and ranting monkey. Okay, probably several, but those three. Yeah, if I had to pick one, maybe ranting monkey. He probably needs some rest. He works hard. All things most of my friends work hard because they're adults, chronologically, mostly. Thank you, CTP Las Tejas Corche. Are you winning, Scribbles? Boy, oh boy, am I. I am Charlie Sheen levels of winning. That is not a confession to substance use. That's just a reference for humor. I don't have tiger blood. Or maybe I do. But yeah. And did I get that right? If I missed it, please tell me. How do I pronounce that last part? Korsch or Korsche? Getting things pronounced correctly is very important to me. Just ask Walter Tomaszewski. So if you already corrected, by all means, please do so again because I missed it the first time. All right, moving on.
And how can you support them?
Wait. Who needs rest and how can I support them? Well, okay. Here you go. Well, Tail doesn't really do YouTube anymore, so I can't really direct him. But Ranting Monkey, if you guys, for some reason, and I know there might be some of you out there that were not here for the Lords of the Night days and elsewise, if you're not aware of Ranting Monkey, look up Ranting Monkey on YouTube. He does live streams with Jack Cochran, and they're always funny, and Monkey is amazing, and he's got one of the best voices on YouTube as far as I'm concerned. Almost. Well, actually, no. It's kind of a battle in my mind between him and Undoomed for really good radio voices. So Either way, go check out Ranting Monkey, subscribe to his channel, watch his streams. He'll appreciate that. And that's how I can support him, by promoting my friends. That's what I do when I can. Speaking of friends that support and one another, it's Miranda Stone putting out the Ranting Monkey link. Well, Miranda Stone, nice to see you. If I missed you before, I apologize. Guys, you know about Miranda Stone, don't you? Well, if you don't know about Miranda Stone, let me tell you. All right.
I implore you to share rest in the ways that we share food.
What?
Share rest with others in the ways that we share love.
What kind of love?
It's not just about a personal practice of rest.
Could you at least describe one in detail? Why are you so reluctant to give us some personal anecdotes of your own process?
But it's building a culture of rest.
Culture of rest.
Let's stop waiting for permission to rest.
Again, nobody's requiring you to. What? So you gave up whatever job you had in Houston. You moved to Mexico and you started becoming effectively a glorified travel agent for meditative retreats. Is that restful? How much do you charge? What? How does this work? Do I want to know how it works?
Embrace Rest Mutual Aid.
Rest Mutual Aid. Okay.
As a practice.
A practice.
Of revolutionary community care.
Okay. Between collective action, revolution, and anti-capitalist, I'm telling you, this is starting to... Not to get too extreme here, but all of these words and concepts, and I'm not kidding you, and I know this is just me because I'm weird, but when I was going off to my company function today, on the trip there and back again, I had my little MP3 player thing that I bought for like $30 off of Amazon, and instead of listening to music as I usually do when I'm going on walks and things, I decided to listen to a documentary, a radio documentary that I had loaded on there. And it was about Jonestown. And I tell you, there was a lot of recordings of Jim Jones talking about the evils of capitalism, the necessities of revolutionary action and collective support one to another. I just saying, they got like splinter groups over here, and Lisa came and she was changed and went off and started her own little thing. Sounds a little culty. I'm just saying, it sounds a little culty.
Because we are worthy of rest.
Sure.
Together. Thank you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, what else is on this thing if it goes there? Okay. There you go, guys. It's the non-denominational rest collective. Or something, I guess. Boy, oh boy. That was something else. All right. Well, let's move on to the bingo card. Take a look at what we got going on here. Oh, that's a perfect fit. It's like Goldilocks or something right there. All right, so this is the card as I have it. Guys, I'm going to go over the card one more time by myself. If you have arguments for squares not yet circled, hold on to them. I will get to you momentarily. We'll see what we have. All right, diversity, equity, and inclusion. For everything that she said, I didn't hear anything specifically DEI related. I didn't. Of course, if you have an argument elsewise, please do let me know. Word salad, boy howdy. I mean, if not one particular section, then in a whole bunch of sort of floaty, ethereal, esoteric gobbledygook. Mind reading assumes motives. I mean, technically she used a lot of like, we do this and we do that kind of thing. in the course of her talk to sort of make everybody relate to what she was saying or to make assumptions about such. So I think that's fair enough. Let's see. Patriarchy. I didn't hear patriarchy. Feminism. I didn't hear feminism. I heard some melanin preferences, but I didn't hear any patriarchy or feminism. Anecdote that probably never happened. What anecdotes did we have? We had her sitting in her car, we had her leaving America, and we had Lisa. And honestly, none of those sounded, at least from the information we were given, at all doubtful in my mind. I can believe that she, with the perspective she has on the world, sat in her car as a respite after a long day. I can believe she decided to just give up everything and move to Mexico. I can believe that she had a Lisa, whether that's her real name or not, come in, get really excited about the process, and then take it elsewhere to start her own little splinter group. I can believe all that. So if there's an anecdote that seemed too unbelievable, you'll have to let me know. Childhood or family end. She never spoke about her childhood or her family. Never did. Didn't even tell us what work she was doing before she left, or more specifically, what she does in her own practice to rest. So leaves out vital context. Well, there you go, right there. She never got down to the nitty-gritty of exactly what is her method, because she doesn't want to get down into personal methods. Why not? That's so weird. Weightless example or non sequitur? I mean, everything was related to her talk. I didn't feel like she went anywhere that was completely detached, but I'll leave that to you. Sales pitch for product or service. Boy, howdy. She may not have named her business explicitly, but she sure told us what she does and all the benefits you can get from it. And with that, if you can believe it, we have a bingo.
I had a dog, and his name was...
What?
I had a dog, and his name was...
Bingo! Of course!
So there you go, our first bingo. Privilege, at least by implication, when she started, divvying everything up on the basis of race and the white supremacy part, there was a notion that privilege is possessed by the white people, because people of color had all their rest stolen from them, and so on. So I'm circling that one. Self-vilification or wretchedness? No, I didn't hear anything to that degree at all. This was all I took the brave action, I was a victim of the system, but I didn't hear anything saying like she was part of the problem or something. Benevolent condescension. I mean, there's a couple of ways I could go with that, but it's a bingo square, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about that one. Deceptive statistics. She never gave us any statistics. I know someone out there is going to try, and you're welcome to try, but she never gave us any data on things. She just gave generalities. So, yeah. And lastly, microaggressions or unconscious bias. She never brought up anything in the course of her talk that I would say is such. So you guys tell me if you spotted anything. So that is the card as I have it. If you have an argument, for squares to be circled, put them in the chat now. If I missed your argument, please just repost it. I am not intentionally ignoring you. Advocates Diaboli, out of vital context. Yep. What kind of car was she sitting in the garage with? If it were an EV, that might explain why she is still here. Ba-dum-bum. Mark Smart, I think benevolent condescension saying we all know we need rest. Yeah. I guess that's true. It's like, did you know? Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, as it were. But of course, her version of rest isn't restful. It's about having to do stuff for other people before you can earn your rest. She kept talking about like, we shouldn't have to earn our rest, but then you're having to do your mutual aid thing to get everybody else rest before you can rest yourself. Anyway, that's the whole contradicts own pointer argument, which we already did. And besides which, we have a second
Bingo. What? Bingo! Yeah! Of course! Of course!
All right. Bingo number 2. What do we got next? Let's see. Frosted Glass has benevolent condescension. We just had that, but we'll go over it anyway. Apparently, non-white people are incapable of handling life in America without more vacations or establishing communism. I suppose so. Well, that's the implication, I guess. She's the one who brought up race. Faustoni, she did talk about a friend, right? Lisa, I think. I think that was Lisa, unless there was someone else I'm missing or forgetting now, because there was a lot to go through. Miranda Stone, I hated it. Thanks, Scribe. Well, you're welcome, Miranda. I'm here to... You know what? As long as you leave in a altered emotional state than you arrived, I can take comfort in the fact that I've changed your life. Pardon me. Anybody else? Arguments? Squares to be circled? I set aside my mad scientist for a second. I mean, I do have a genetically engineered dog cat fox over here, so there's something in there. Maniacal laugh, or maniacal laugh, depending on how you say it. Yes. A maniacal laugh. A laugh that restrains. That would be something. Anybody else? I'll wait and see. Maybe people are typing up their arguments. I'll give it a moment. Oh, here we go. Advocate has to be. Anecdote that didn't happen. Her sitting in a garage with the car running. Had she done that, she wouldn't be here to give the... Okay. I made the same allusion when she first said it, because I said that sounds like a couple of, sort of dark possibilities going on there, depending on the outcome of that thing. So, but, yeah. Kay Roberts, DEI, only black and brown people were allowed at the Rest Pod beach gathering. Okay, now that's the only element of this talk that might fall within a DEI deal. But here's the thing, and I know I'm going to be a stickler for this. There has to be something in there that talks about. Well, let's see. I'm trying to go over what she said that I remember. Okay, rest that's been taken from us, and she was I mean, it's kind of hard to escape abject racism in that way and not see DEI as at least, or at least the tenets thereof influencing you. Yeah. I needed something else. It's just on the edge. I needed something about, if she'd said something about trying to disrupt white spaces or something like that. If she'd been a bit more specific, if there was something more to it than that, I just needed a little bit more, unless I'm forgetting something. If I'm forgetting something, but I needed something that was a bit more trying to, I don't know, I can't really articulate it correctly. It was just shy of making me think of DEI rather than just someone who was just a racist. So, yeah. Adabisi says it passes my sniff test. Okay. Give me something more. I need something more that is applicable in what she said. Like I said, I'm on the line. I can kind of see where it might come from, but I just need a little bit more. Adabisi, could the years she spent before she had this revelation count as self-vilification, as she was doing everything she was told to do? I still see that as the playing victim thing. Because that was because she was being held down by the system. That wasn't her fault. She was being forced by the evils of capitalism and expectation and everything. I think that still falls within plays victim rather than self-vilification. I didn't hear her say something to the effect of, I was contributing to the problem, or, I was in a supervisory position and I laid these same expectations down on my subordinates, and so I had become part of the system. If she said something like that, maybe that would be better. But as far as I can tell, everything in that category was just outlining how much of a victim she was to justify her actions. No, I mean when she was doing what the system wanted her to, and it was making herself miserable. Again, I think that falls squarely in plays victim. She would have to have articulated her passing that on to someone else, right? Where she was the villain in some way. And nowhere in this did I hear she was a villain. I heard she was a victim. She was a survivor. She had a revelation. She's passing on this wisdom, that kind of thing. I never heard her, make herself the bad guy or confess to being the bad guy. It was always something else affecting her that was making her miserable. So R.I.P. Donald Sutherland. What? I mean, he died a while back. Oh, pods are how the body snatchers get you. Donald Sutherland, you're talking Kevin McCarthy. If you want to go back to the 1956 version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the black and white classic, which I prefer over all other Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I mean, you had Invasion of the Body Snatchers 56 with Kevin McCarthy. You had 78 or 79? 79, I think, was Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Donald Sutherland, which did feature Kevin McCarthy still running around in the streets trying to warn people. Then you had Body Snatchers, which was 1993, which had, what's her name from the Chucky movies later on? I'm forgetting her name all of a sudden. She plays poker, and she's busty. What's her name? I don't remember. Anyway, that movie. And then you had just Invasion, which was 2003, I think. And that was Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig before he was James Bond. And of all of them, I still appreciate the 56 version the best because I think it's the best. Except for the fact, I think there's a fan edit out there. If there's not, there should be, where it takes off the happy ending. Because the happy ending that they bookended the final version with, the theatrical version with, is just, it's unnecessary. It makes a much better sort of Twilight Zone type episode if it just ends with Kevin McCarthy out on the road screaming at people. I may be a bit of an Invasion of the Body Snatchers snob. I may have 3 different editions of the book. I may have this strange compulsion to buy a copy if I see it at a bookstore. I'm going to stop now. Jennifer Tilley. Yes, thank you, Read by Nature. Appreciate it. And also Angela Arriaga. Thank you. Appreciate it, yes. Anyway. Okay. I meant it more like she was a villain of her own story till she woke up, so to speak. I see where you're going. I don't think it quite crosses the line between plays victim to vilification. Because again, she was trapped within a system that was oppressing her. She was not a part of the problem. She was a victim of the problem. So yeah, I get it. I get where you're going. It just didn't quite do it for me. If she'd said something like, and I was passing down these same values to my children as a result, or I was imposing these same kind of restrictions and mentality on my coworkers or something, then, but it was all self-contained. It was all her just, the system's against me kind of thing. So anyway, I think that's where we're at, guys. As always, if you have an argument for a square yet to be circled and it's after the show, you can always leave a comment, or more immediately, because I'll probably see it quicker, you can always join and post on the Discord. If you'd like to join the Discord, a link to the Discord server is in the chat right now. Click on that link. You'll find yourself on the landing channel called Say Hello. And in addition to saying hello, you just have to say the secret word. The secret word tells me you're not a bot, have actually watched the stream, and thus earned the right, the privilege, the entitlement to join the Discord server. And today's secret word is obviously body snatchers. Everybody just say hello, body snatchers, and I'll know that you watched the show. Outside of that, you can find me on Midnight's Edge in the morning, as previously mentioned, tomorrow, Friday, at 9:05 Pacific Time, noon 05 Eastern Time, over on the Midnight's Edge channel. We'll probably be talking about Ironheart reactions and Fallout and who knows what else is going on, and upcoming Fantastic Four news and box office and all types of crazy stuff. So take a look out for that tomorrow morning. And just as a reminder, there will not be a Dog, Cat, Fox, and Friend Saturday stream this week. I'll be out of town visiting Mama Scribe and Papa Scribe. Whether or not there is a Sunday stream will all depend on how much rest I get between Saturday and Sunday. So I'll let you know as soon as I can whether or not there will be a Sunday stream. And after that, aside from Midnight's Edge in the morning on Monday, also on Monday will be at noon 12:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the next episode of DEI Death Watch. We'll take a look at the doubling down and downfalls of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though everyone here is so well behaved. You have very little to do. Everybody who donated, either to myself or, guys, at the top of the chat box, the GoFundMes for Twisted Skipster and Angela Arriaga. Please take a look at those. Thank you guys so much for your consideration and your generosity. It is very much appreciated. Hope everybody has a good rest of their Thursday, Friday ahead of you, weekend as well. For those of you having to worry about month-end billing and such things, I'm right there with you. I'll be in the proverbial salt mines on Monday doing that kind of stuff. And at some point, in some way, I will find rest. Everyone, thank you for joining me. I hope you're all safe and well. If you're not well, please get well soon. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.